In this lesson, we'll change some settings in PyroSim. So I will dive inside the PyroSim and here in the Pyro Solver, and I will go to combustion. And here you can enable and disable the combustion. If I disable that, no fire will occur. Okay, so I will enable that. Here you see the ignition temperature. So what this does, the combustion or the burning process will occur when the temperature field is above this value. So for example, if you set this one to 2 and let's hit play, as you see we still have fire, right? But if I increase that to 4, now I rewind the simulation, there is no fire. The reason is because our temperature is less than 4. So if I go, for example, here and scale the temperature, I set the temperature to 5. Now the 5 is bigger than 4. Now the combustion or the burning will occur. Okay? So that's in case you don't know that. So I will go back here and I will leave that to 0.1. And here you see the burning rate. So 0.9 means that after 1 second, 90% of the fuel will be burned. So if you set this one to 0.1 and let's hit play, as you see, we have a little bit of combustion, okay, burning happening. Let's leave that to 0.9. By the way, guys, if you don't understand what I am saying, just hover the mouse over the attributes or any option you don't understand, and Houdini will give you a little help here. And even if you didn't understand the help, just try the different values, and test that and play and see what every value do for you. This is easier than reading the help of the option or the attribute. Okay? And here you see I have the fuel inefficiency. So if you set that, for example, to 0, PyroSolver will remove all the fuel when the burning process occurs. Okay? So let's hit play and see if something changed here. Okay? So nothing changed. So I will set that to 1, for example, now. And 1 means PyroSolver will not remove the fuel even the burning is happening. Okay, so in this case, if you hit play, now you see we have more burning and we have funny effect. Okay, because Houdini will, or the PyroSolver will not remove the fuel. Okay, so let's leave that to 0.2. And this is the temperature output, how much temperature you want to output. For example, if I set this one to 20, now the smoke will go up faster. Okay, so let's leave that back to 0.15, and this is will blow the fire upward. So for example, if I set this one to 50, now as you see the fire is blowing. Okay, so I will set that about 4, and let's see. By the way, I will go to options and I will dive inside the tire, and I will move the viewer circle here so I can see the tire. So let's go back and see. Okay, let's decrease the division here to 0.1 so we have more detail. Okay, and let's go back, and sorry, I will select the PyroSolver, and here you see I have the flames. This controls the height of your flame. So if I will set this one to 10, your flames will be too big. Okay, and let's show all the objects so we can see the fire better. Okay, so now the flames are higher than before, as you see, and I will leave that to, for example, 1, and let's hit play and see. Now you see we have shorter flames. Okay, and here you can control the shape of the flame. And in the smoke we want to emit thicker smoke, because as you see we barely have a smoke in the scene. So I will click on create dense smoke, and let's see if we have smoke now. Okay, we have more smoke now. I don't know if you see that in the recording. So I will increase that to 6 because I want to have more smoke. Okay, as you see now we have more smoke in the viewport. Okay, so and let's change the source to burn. Okay, so I want to emit the smoke when the burn happening. So I will play. I found that this works good for me. Okay, you can change that to hit and try that too. Okay, and let's go to the shape, and here I will change the dissipation to 0.005. This will control the smoke dissipation, so the smoke will disappear slower, so it will remain longer in the viewport. Okay, and the disturbance I want to add a little bit. Sorry, I want to decrease that because I don't want to add a lot of detail on the smoke. I want to have less details on the smoke, and I will leave that at this value. Okay, and now let's control the wind of the smoke. So of course you can select the pyro solver and come to simulation and change that to, for example, 0.6 or 5, and play that. Okay, sorry, we need to 0. I will set this one to 0.6, and let's hit play. Now the wind will be in this area, in this direction. Okay, will come from this direction. But I want to show you another way to do the wind, so I will leave that to 0, and here I will hit tab and type wind. I will choose gas wind. Make sure you choose gas wind, not this one or this one. Okay, so I will choose gas wind, and I will place that in this input. Okay, so this input is velocity update. We want to update the velocity of the smoke, so I will input that here, and I will select the gas wind, and I will set the wind scale about 0.4. I think it's okay. Okay, and let's change the emitter, so the container, sorry. So I will click here and move that. Let's go back and see. Let's make it a little bit bigger from here too. Okay, so let's go back to the camera and see what we get. Okay, so I think we need to go to the pyro solver, and I will try to decrease the gas to 0.4. Let's see that, because I noticed we have a lot of fire of or a lot of burning. Okay, okay, you can of course increase the flame height if you want, example to 2. Okay, so after we finish the setting the values, I like to decrease the division size a little bit more. So for example, I will set this one to 0.5, 0.03. But if your PC is not strong, guys, just set that to 0. For example 8, or set this one, leave that to 1. Okay, so in my case I will set that to 0.03. okay, and I will cache the file on disk. So I will cache the file on disk by going to option and then Pyro import, and here I will select that, and I will cache the file from 1 to 240 frame. Okay, I will click on save disk in the background. But before I recorded this lesson, I created a cache. Okay, so I will click on that and I will load the cache that I created. So let's see here. Let's go back to the Geo, our project, and here I have the cache. This is one version and this is the second version. This has more details. Okay, I will show you that later. I will click on that. I will hit accept. Okay, so let's move that here and let's click on load from disk, and I will disable the simulation here. So we are playing safe now. Okay, so as you see, I don't see the file because this is a cached file. Okay, don't worry about that. And if I go to the render view, let's see here, and go to the camera and hit render. Okay, as you see, we don't have any light. So in the next lesson, we'll create the lights.